The first lie Jordan Hayes ever told was to himself, that he could control everything. By the time he turned 35, Jordan had already built a multimillion-dollar company, married a woman the world adored, and convinced nearly everyone he was the man he pretended to be. But underneath the charm, the tailored suits, and the carefully curated interviews was a void that even Elise, with all her light, could never fill. When Elise Hayes disappeared on a cold October evening, her absence cracked something deep inside the carefully polished surface of Jordan's life. Her last known location was their lake house in Marston Hollow. A dinner reservation was never honored. Her phone was later found in the glove compartment of her locked car, engine still warm. No blood, no body, just the echo of her last voicemail. "Jordan, I know everything. I'm not afraid anymore." Those 7 words ignited a media frenzy. Jordan, stunned and wide-eyed, played the grieving husband role with unsettling perfection. His voice trembled at press conferences. He pleaded for help. He offered a $100,000 reward. And when police failed to charge him due to lack of evidence, he claimed the world owed him an apology. But Marla Jennings never forgot Elise's voice. At 29, Marla was a newly licensed private investigator and one of Elise's closest friends from college. Though they'd grown distant over the years, Elise had reached out weeks before she vanished, cryptic texts, missed calls, a strange request to meet in person that Marla never honored because of a broken ankle and a busy caseload. The guilt had eaten her alive since. Years passed. Jordan moved on. He sold the lake house, remarried, wrote a self-help book, reinvented himself as a survivor of false allegations. And the world, eager to forget, forgave him. But Marla never did. In the summer of Jordan's 40th year, a worn, half-burned envelope arrived on Marla's desk. It was postmarked from Maine, dated 6 years earlier, and addressed in Elise's handwriting. Inside were 3 pages of scrawled notes. Desperate, fearful. "He watches everything. I'm not safe. He says he's protecting me, but I think he's planning something. If I disappear, look inside the gardenia box." He told me I was the only one who knew the truth, but that was his greatest lie. Marla's hands shook. There was no return address, only a phone number, one that disconnected minutes after she dialed. She couldn't explain why, but she knew Elise never ran. Elise was taken, and Jordan had buried more than just a secret. The lake house had long since been sold to new owners, but Marla used a legal loophole to request access as part of a civil asset review. What she really sought was the gardenia box, something Elise had referenced once during a college night in, while they were sharing cheap wine and talking about regrets. "I keep everything in that box," Elise had said. "Letters, secrets, my truth." It took Marla 2 hours of digging behind rotted siding and false panels in the attic before she found it. A metal container shaped like a book, carved with a single letter A. Inside were dozens of Polaroids, each with handwritten notes. One showed Jordan with a woman Marla didn't recognize, her arm draped around his neck, laughing, unaware the photo had been taken through a window. Another was of Elise's bruised wrist. One photo showed Jordan's computer screen, an email thread labeled Operation Gemini. Marla's heart pounded. She'd uncovered something much darker than abuse. This was organized, structured, planned. She traced Operation Gemini to an encrypted server linked to offshore shell companies. The IP logs tied back to Jordan's office, masked by a VPN. What she found broke her. Multiple identities, multiple women, multiple disappearances. Elise was never the only one. She was the first to get close enough to uncover it. Haunted by the revelation, Marla took the findings to Detective Colin Reyes, a skeptical but meticulous officer in his early 40s who had worked Elise's cold case. Initially dismissive, Colin changed course once Marla presented the photo of Elise's bruised wrist alongside the Gemini logs. "This isn't just a missing person anymore," he murmured. "This is serial predation." They quietly reopened the investigation, this time without alerting Jordan. But Jordan already knew. Within days, Marla began receiving anonymous texts. "Careful, you're making the same mistake she did." One morning, she found a single gardenia in her mailbox. Fresh. No note. Then the dream started. Marla would wake in sweat, hearing Elise's voice. Sometimes pleading, sometimes warning, and sometimes silent. Just there, watching. The final piece came from an unexpected source, Jordan's second wife, Camilla. She showed up at Marla's office one stormy evening, soaked, shaking, mascara streaking down her face. "I think he's going to kill me," she whispered. Marla shut the blinds and locked the door. Camilla explained that she had found old files Jordan had hidden behind a false wall in their bedroom closet. Documents detailing psychological profiles, surveillance images of multiple women, and a list of containment protocols. He wasn't just a manipulator. He was methodical. He treated love like a science. Camilla's testimony, combined with the gardenia box and server logs, gave Colin enough to secure a warrant. But Jordan was already gone. The house was empty. No sign of a struggle. The only thing left behind was a note left on the kitchen counter, in Elisa's handwriting. It ends where it began. "Come alone." Pinned to it, a plane ticket. One way, to a small island off the coast of Nova Scotia. Despite Colin's warnings, Marla went. She arrived at a cottage by the sea, wind howling, waves crashing against jagged cliffs. Inside, time had frozen. A fireplace burned low. 2 plates set at a dining table. Candles flickering. And Jordan, older, colder, wearing a smile that didn't touch his eyes. "I knew you'd come," he said. "You want closure, but you'll leave with clarity." "I want the truth," Marla whispered. "I gave it to Elise," he replied. She didn't like it either. As they spoke, Marla secretly activated a live feed audio recorder on her phone. Every word he spoke would be saved. Jordan leaned closer. "You think you're different, but you're not. You're just the next piece in the puzzle. You only have power because I allow it." That's what Elise never understood. Marla's voice cracked. "You killed her." Jordan tilted his head. "I freed her." Before he could finish, the door burst open. Camilla stepped through with a pistol. "You don't get to rewrite the ending," she said. Jordan raised his hands, slowly. "You brought her? Clever girl." Camilla's hand trembled. "You took everything from me. I want to watch you beg." Marla stepped between them. "Don't let the world see him fall. That's how we win." Jordan Hayes was arrested the next morning. Inside his private cellar, authorities uncovered traces of at least 4 different women. All missing. All presumed dead. Elisa's remains were never found, but her gardenia box, her letters, her photos, gave her a voice louder than any grave. The trial was televised. America watched as the polished veneer shattered, revealing the monster beneath. Marla testified. So did Camilla. So did survivors who never thought they'd be heard. In the end, Jordan Hayes was convicted on multiple counts of murder, fraud, identity theft, and unlawful imprisonment. He received 5 consecutive life sentences. But Marla never felt peace. Please subscribe to this channel. It's full of mysteries,